So I have opened my shoulder, that I have closed my bust, that now I'm going to open the side a bit and tighten it just a little bit. But before I do that, I added extra paper down here. This represents my hips and this represents my knee. Remember the style? It goes from my hip, it goes like that. That's when the gathers come in. Let's see, from the hip, this is the hip side. This is the hip side, this line. So it's going to go like that. See? And this is the center front CF. Remember what my CF is? This is where my CF is. This is my CF. This is my center front. My center front. This line, that's my center front. So if this is my hip and this is my side, this is my SF. Remember, SF is side front. That's my SF. So this is going to start from here, like that. That's my side front. And it's going to come to my center front. It's going down by, I drew it down here. It's going down by 3 points. It's going down by 3.5 from my hip point. So this is my hip. I decided to go 2 inches above my hip so it can start a little bit upper. So even though this is my hip, this is the larger part of my hip, I wanted to start 2 inches above right here, and it would end 5 inches. So this is like 5 inches, so we can see like the mark better. So it's going to go up higher a bit. That's what's going on here. So I marked this is my 7 because my hip is 9 away from my waist. So I marked my 7 and I came here, see that, and I marked 5 over here. So I came down from my hip. First of all, I went up by 2 and I came down by 5, and then on the side I went up by 2. I'm going to connect it with a straight line first, so you'll see how it looks like. Do you see? So this is a complete straight line. I can decide to make it a curve instead of a straight line, just to put some touch in there. Actually, like that. This was the right way. Just maybe if I wanted to exaggerate some or something, like that. See, just like the bikini line type of, yeah. I'm just trying to use the green for you guys to see. So I can use it on the purple, which is just very straight, like this. Very straight like that. Or I can use the green, which is a little like an arc, like that. So the green is going to be like an arc, while the purple is straight. That's how it's going to be. So at this point, I can use whichever one I feel is nice for me. Yeah. But just in case you're wondering why certain people have theirs as curved and other people have theirs straight, this is why. When you get here, you can do anything you want to do over here. Even if you and I have the same style, mine was low, yours is high. That's a difference. Do you understand? So at this point, you can decide to go as low. And even, you know, certain people just go like this. You see, there are styles that you go like this. So here is straight, but the goddess is from the center front to the middle. Yeah, you can do that as well. Your pattern is going to be cut into two. So you need to I'll tape this down so I can give my I'm trying to notch it, because if you are sewing, you need to make sure they meet. Yeah, so you make sure that's where they meet, so you don't forget to notch it. Very important. I've gone ahead to cut through, so now it's sitting flat, so I can notch the sides. And this is my sweetheart neckline, so I'm also going to carve that out, because you remember we had a cape over. This is what I meant when I said my sweetheart neckline. So this is where I came down by 5 inches over here. This is it. So see, that's going all the way, and I want to go to meet over here. This is how I want it. So this is my yoke side. Now this is my yoke, which is this. That's my yoke. This is where my sleeve and things would come in. So yeah, before I cut, I want to let you know that when I slash this into two and I divide it, I would come back here, join this together, and cut. I'm cutting out. This pattern doesn't have any form of allowance on it. So when I put it on my fabric, that's when I add my allowance. But for now, this pattern has 0 allowance. That's what I was trying to avoid. My points. So you see, when you add them, you need the notches. The notches is what tells you who is joining who. But least I forget, this is my bust line. This is my under bust line. This is my waistline. And this is my hip line. See? Right there. And I did the demarcations for the hip. On the hip, I came down by 3. On this side, I put it on the hip. I went out by 2. So even if you don't see the full out pattern and you see only these cut ones, you should be able to tell what is going on. This is my center front. This is my side front. So putting your marks and writing them down seems like a lot of work, but it's going to save you a lot of thinking and a lot of doubts when you start sewing them up. Because if you have your notches in the right place and you have your marks in the right place, you're good to go. You don't have to second guess it. At this point, your front pattern should be coming into shape like this. We've gone on to cut the dot, and I've lined them up notch by notch. So I'm going to cut this side and then join this side together. So now this is my yoke and this is my sweetheart neckline. Yeah. You should have something like this. Now, do you understand why I say put your notches? Because if you didn't put, imagine you didn't put any notch or anything, imagine it's going to be a mess. So we're going to work on this part. This is now the yoke. This is the neckline. You have to adjust it because it doesn't meet. So you just have to tape it down and adjust it. That's all. Now, see, let me put it here so you can see the difference. And then I can shape it. So you see, I want I had to shape this side so it can be smooth. So when you cut your yoke will be smooth. That's all I did. And ladies and gentlemen, here you have it. Move this a little bit up. This is the front. From the shoulder, from your shoulder to this side. This is it. This is what we've done. This is the pattern. So for the gathers, I'm just going to put the one I cut from here and calculate how much I want, and I put the gathers. Okay, pretty nice. So I went on to do the back. The neckline for the back is 2 by 3. I went on to do my armhole line. We already did that in the front. I'm just going over it. And remember the back I said I would be exactly on my bust point. So I divided my shoulder line into 2, and then I brought the line. I connected it to my bust point, and I started my dart also from the bust point because it's the back. There's nothing wrong with it, but the front, if you do that, you get the point, the cones. That's why I don't do it in the front, but for the back you could do it like this. And then I opened this by 1.5. I added my allowance here, but my center back I came in by 0.5 for back tightening, so you won't have excess fabric on the back. And I took it down to this line where my that also ends here. So this is what I did, and I went on to join some more side, and then came back to my hip. So this is my hip line. This is 2 inches away from my hip line, and this is my side. Whatever you do to the front, you do to the back. And this is my center back. This is the 2 inch we went up, and this is the 3 inch we came down. So remember from the center front, I marked from the 7 inches, I marked 5 inches down. This is that 5 inch. See, this is what my front looks like. So this is my hip line for my front, and this is the 3 inches. See, this is the hip for my front, and this is the 3 inches. This is the hip for my back, and that's the 3 inches. So this is my side front. Remember, this is the front. So in order to make sure that everything aligns, I'm just going to put it like this. Make sure all this aligning. See right there. This is the waist, the meat. This is the dart. This is the 2 inches. See? So whatever you do to your side, the front, you do to the side, because the side seams are the ones that will match when you are sewing. The side seams are the ones that will match. Just remember, this is the excess. When I'm sewing, I cut it out. But remember, they should meet. So when you sew, see, when you are sewing it, this is how they meet. Front and side seams together. If you put your pattern on each other and one is longer than the other, you know you have a problem somewhere, so you can fix it. That's why it's always good to at least have basic idea about a pattern, because the pattern helps you go a long way. So I'm going to do my connections from my center back. My back went like this, and I went to my side back, and I went to my front. But you remember clearly that one was straight and the other one was curved, right? Yeah. In this place, you don't touch it because this is the zip. Don't touch the allowance for the zip. Just make it straight, because if you touch that line, you're in trouble. Even though there was no allowance, I just put the zip, the 1 inch for the zip. Okay. So I'm just connecting the first straight line. As I said, when you get to this part, you can twitch, turn, twist, whatever you want to do. This is where you do your own. So remember how I went in for the front? I'm going to do the same for the back. I'm putting into consideration my side seams. You have to consider that side seam. Okay. So this is how it would look. Since I went for the green, I'll go for the green here too, which is the curve. Slightly. Before I put everything together, where I'm going to have my yoke. Remember the front, it came down to the armhole, so I would want to do the same. But for the back, I decided to, it's not a curve, but go to my center back. There, right there, see? So remember I said on the main thing, I said the back comes down a bit. That's what I meant. It will not start from the original back place, but it will go down. But my yoke is going to cover that side. It's just my fabric that's going down, but my yoke is still covered up. I just want to have that style so you see it, but it's not going to be exposed or anything. No, it's just one is a different fabric and the other is a different fabric. That's all. So for my center back, my yoke came down, but they still meet each other at the armhole. This is from my front. They still meet each other at the armhole. See? Armhole and armhole. They join together. Still meet each other. Remember here, I went in by 0.7 on the front and then on the back 0.5. So it will give me a little ease. But they meet each other. Remember? This is how it is. So don't forget. Whatever you do, remember that your sides always have to meet each other. If not, your pattern would look funny. And always put the pattern on each other, the front, the way I like to put the front and the back together on the sides to see if it's aligning. So if it's not aligning, you know you have a problem with the pattern before you even transfer to fabric. That's also one great tip that helps me.